myself or I modified it. Okay, so again, okay, so let's start the attributes of God. This is just a rough draft to help me think. Number one, the Son of God is the creator of the universe, of the world itself, of ideas, of him or of humanity, etc. Number two, there is Xanadu God. Okay, I think from now on, just understand it's Xanadu God or Super God. There's no need to say it every time. Okay, God exists in a vast amount of space and exists in a vast instant of time. Number three, God is a necessary existent or the only necessary existent. Number four, God is the most perfect being, perfect in intellect, free will, power, kindness, appearance, life, etc. Number five, the Xanadu God is aware of what goes on in the universe. 6. God uses some form of energy to accomplish things in the universe. 7. God is the king of the world, i.e. the ruler, and he uses miracles to achieve his goals. He can intervene in the world as we do, or he can suspend the laws of nature when necessary. Number 8. God evolves to a greater and greater perfection. Number 9. God is the cause of the world being sustained in existence. Number 10. God is linked to us. What does it mean to be part of something? At any rate, he is not separate from the world in the structural and functional senses. And to be part of something means that you're linked together as cause and effect, or like in more recent times you have reciprocal causality, like Coulomb's law of charge, where charges like electrons and protons are attracted to each other. Number 11, the Xanadu God is a form of energy. He is not made up of matter of this world, though he may have some higher forms of matter which is just concentrated energy. Einstein said Maxwell came up with the idea that electromagnetic waves uses Maxwell's equations, like the equations of Gauss, Faraday, and Ampere, or two of them by Gauss, to create predicted electromagnetic waves, and these were detected by Hertz. And so there are some things that can exist independently of matter, electromagnetic waves, various kind of more spiritual things. I think even recently they say they even detected gravitational waves, which Einstein predicted. And these may exist independently of matter also. The electromagnetic waves traveling through space, they have magnetic fields perpendicular to each other. Number 12, the Xanadu God is transcendent in some ways, but not all. That is, our ordinary physical senses cannot experience God completely. Number 13, God must be perceptible by us, since humanity and God are critical to one another. Number 14, God is greater than any human else. A human being will be the God, not God himself. Number 15, God can create an image of himself so that we can see him. Number 16, God can take on human form, but in a much superior manner. Well, some of these things are ideas, doesn't mean that they're true, but just the views that some people hold. Number 17, God needs the means to be our God. He must have the opportunity to be our God. He must have the motives to be our God, and he must have the power to be our God. You know what this is about? This is based about the theory of when you have a trial. Number 18, the Xanadu God must be finite, since an infinite being is impossible, but he can forever progress and thus approach infinity in the process. Number 19, God moves the heavens constantly or when necessary. We take into account that the principle of inertia applies to motion. That is, what is in motion in a straight line will continue in a straight line unless an external force is applied to it to interfere with its motion. So this may only be partly true, since motion may be reduced by resistance of space itself, which is hard to see for us to observe, since have very small resistance. Really, I revised the law of inertia later because I said that um, you need inequalities because you can apply a force to something and it's not enough, it's negligible. So it was, even though you apply a force, it will still continue to be at rest or to be in motion, even though there's a force. Whether you're talking about the atom or you're talking about the planets or moons in the cosmos. Also, I can choose a rotational role of inertia. Maybe even spinning is a kind of inertial law. Also, that's a kind of for acceleration. I created myself or I modified it. Okay, so again,